My presentation topic is Chapter 17. Suppose that you are considering the purchase of a bond issued by another country. What must you consider when calculating the expected return of your investment, and explain. My presentation is divided into 7 parts. The first one is interest rate. The second one is inflation rate. The third one is exchange rate. And the fourth is credit risk. The fifth is political and economic stability. The sixth is tax implications. And the last one is liquidity. So first of all, the interest rate offered by the bank is a crucial factor in determining the expected return. As we can see, higher interest rates generally indicate higher returns, but they also come with higher risks. For example, as we can see in this picture, if I deposit $1,000 in a saving account that offers an annual interest rate of 5%, this means that over the course of 1 year, I will earn $50 in interest on my deposit. The interest rate of 5% represents the cost of borrowing money for the bank and the return on investment for me as a depositor. And the second thing I need to consider is the inflation rate of the country issuing the bond. As we can see, inflation can erode the purchasing power of the bank's future cash flows, potentially reducing the real return on the investment. So, as we can see in this picture, the inflation rate for a particular country is 2% per year. This means that, on average, the prices of goods and services in that country are increasing by 2% annually. As a result, the purchasing power of the currency decreases over time. For instance, if a loaf of bread costs $1 today, with a 2% inflation rate, it would cost approximately $1.02 next year. And for the third one, if the band is dominated a different currency than my own, I need to consider the exchange rate risk. As we can see, changes in exchange rates can impact the value of the investment and potentially increase or decrease returns. So as we can see in this picture, for example, considering the exchange rate between the US dollar and the euro, and the US dollar and the RMB, if the exchange rate is 1 USD equals to 0.85 EUR, and 1 USD equals to 7.15 RMB. If by bands in US dollars, it costs $1,176 to buy a 1,000 euro band, and $139 to buy a 1,000 yuan bands. So, for the fourth point, assess the credit worthiness of the country issuing the bond. As we can see, if the country has a low credit rating or a history of defaulting on its debt, there's a higher risk of not receiving the expected returns. And for the fifth point, consider the political and economic ability of the country. Political instability or economic downturns can negatively impact the value of the bond and affect the expected return. And for the sixth point, take into account the tax implication of investing in a foreign bond. As we can see, different countries have different tax laws and regulations, which can affect the overall return on the investment. And finally, consider the liquidity of a bond market in the foreign country. As we can see, if the market is illiquid, it may be difficult to sell the bonds when needed, potentially impacting expected returns. So, to conclude, by considering these factors can make a more informed decision when calculating the expected return of investment in a bond issued by another country. It is important to conduct thorough research and analysis to assess the risks and the potential returns associated with investing in foreign bonds. So this is the entire contents of my presentation. Thank you.